All right, let's get going. So what we're going to do today is make a coin ring out of this United States Army silver round. This is a 1 ounce of fine silver. And on the back side, or I guess this would be the front side, it says United States Army. It's got the Army symbol. And then on the other side, it says Land of the Free because of the brave. I think that's pretty cool. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is heat the ring up. Heat the coin with the torch. That's called annealing. It'll soften up the metal, make it easier to work with. Okay, now I'll dunk it in this water, cool it off. Oh, by the way, I'm Mark with Southwind Coin Rings. I'll be providing some entertainment here for the next 45 minutes probably, maybe an hour. Okay, so next step will be to punch a hole in the middle of it. And I'm going to punch a pretty big hole because I'm going to use this center portion here for to make a coin, or not a coin ring, a key ring. So it'll be about like that. This is a 3/4 inch punch. So let's come over here. Get everything ready. If anybody has any questions anywhere along the way, please feel free to put them in the chat. And I'll be watching from now and then to see your questions. Can maybe not see all of them right away, but I will see them. All right, so laid a couple of pieces of paper towel on top of that post. That'll help protect the detail when I do the punching. So screw the lid down, and when that lid screws down, it centers the coin up on top of that punch. Oops. I keep forgetting on these big punches, I can't put them down through here like a normal, so I have to put it in this way. Screw the lid down. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and put it in the press. And we'll punch the hole. Okay. Whoops. Punch fell out when I pulled it down. So here's our center. And this is what we'll use to make the key ring. And then it'll be sold as a set with the ring. I have an order for this, by the way. It's going to be a size 10. So there's our coin with a big hole punched in the middle of it. It'll still make a pretty nice band, not terribly wide, but wide enough. So we'll put these things away. Just a second here. There we go. Enlarge the text so I can see it better. Okay, so next thing we need to do when the punch goes through the coin, it leaves kind of a ragged edge here, a bunch of small micro cracks. And I need to cut those out of there, or when I start working with the coin and that edge starts to stretch, those little cracks can become big cracks and the coin will tear. Here's a sample of what can happen. So let's clean that up. I'm going to use this deburring tool to cut that edge out of there, shave it down into some nice solid metal. I'll get the other side. Now I'll sand it a little bit. Yeah, that feels pretty good. All right. Now, the next step is we need to turn this into a ring shape because we can't wear it like this. That's not going to work. So we'll come over here to the arbor press and we'll take care of that. I'm going to start with this dapping block. And I want the United States Army to be on the outside of the ring. So that's going to go down like this. And then I'll put this dowel in. It's a hard plastic. That's going to go in the middle there. And get that coin centered in there real nice. Make sure it's right under that press through the ram. Okay, now we'll just force that down into that dapping block. And that's the beginnings of ring shape. But we got a long way to go. So I'm going to change over to reduction die, 17 degree. And then I'll start with this stainless steel cone. This is also 17 degree, matches the angle on the die. I'm going to push this down about halfway because I don't want the detail on the inside to come in contact with that stainless steel. So we'll just push it down a little bit and then change over to a composite cone. That's good enough. Try to get it level. That looks pretty good. Now I'll just push it on down. Now that coin has pretty much come in contact with this cone, I'm not gonna be able to fold it any farther. That process is called folding, if I didn't mention that. Okay, so now I mentioned this is going to be a size 10, and the hole's already much bigger than a 10. It's actually 14. So what we'll do is I'm going to put it into another type of die, and we'll reduce this and get these two sides to match, basically is what we're going to do. And then reduce the size. So I'm going to go ahead and sand this a little bit now, because this edge, when the punch went through it, kind of left some marks. So I want to smooth those out. It's easier to work with when it's like this. That cut edge is kind of presenting itself. Okay, that's pretty good. All right. So now we're going to use what's called the Swedish wrap method to reduce this and even those sides up. And I'm going to wrap it in this Teflon tape. Going to give it like 12 wraps. Okay, there's 12. Okay. We'll just fold this tape over the edges. And there's a lot of force applied to the face of the coin when it goes down through this die. And so this will help to protect it. I need to get it pushed down in there evenly. Oops. Well, that didn't work the way I wanted it. Let's just check something here. You know what? I need to go back to the folding step. I didn't get that coin folded completely. Looks like, because it should go down inside here. So let's see. Let's go ahead and give that one more push. I need to be careful that I don't press this too far, or else it will fall. We go completely through the die and mess up the edge. And we did go some more. Now let's see what we got. Okay, so that's better. So I'm just going to give it maybe three or four wraps, and then reduce that reed side a little bit, and then I'll wrap it up completely. I just need a little bit more room in that die. And some of these coins are a little bit different sizes, so I never know exactly how it's going to be. Okay, that'll give me enough to get started. So I'll use this pusher to push that down a little bit. Centered up in there. Okay, there we go. Now that should give me enough space to be able to wrap it up completely. So let's do it again. Thanks for the likes, everybody. Appreciate it. Might want to go ahead and follow so you'll get notified when I'm doing my lives. I do 3 or 4 lives a week. Usually about every other day. Okay. All right, should get better results this time. Thanks for the follows, guys. Appreciate it. All right, now we'll push it down a little bit further and then probably anneal it again. Get that centered up under there. Give it a push. I'll be checking this frequently because I don't want that detail to start pushing through that tape. You can see where you can see the United States right now, so that means it's getting close to popping through the tape. And if it does, then it'll just get mashed, flattened. So let's go ahead and anneal it again. And then next time we'll be able to press it further. If you're wondering what's causing those sparks, it's the little pieces of metal off of this steel wool. Those steel wool pads kind of disintegrate as you use them. Okay, back over to the press again. Any questions? I need to get some of this stuff put away. It's getting in my road. All right. It's a lot easier to wrap the tape when that starts to flatten out like that. When the wall starts straightening out. When it's at an angle, it's kind of hard to do it. You get it to stay on there, right? Thanks for the follows. Okay, there we go. I'll check it again, see what it looks like. You can see again that the tape is starting to press down on top of the United States. I'm not too concerned about it. It's starting to harden. When it starts turning dark blue, That means that tape is starting to get a little harder. Let's see if we can get a reading on the size. It's about 13 and a half, so we got a ways to go. So I'll give it another press and check it again, make sure everything still looks good. At that point I may need to add a few more wraps of tape. Yeah, you see how it's turning dark blue now all across the face. So there's a lot of pressure being applied now across the whole face of that. And I think it's getting close to coming out the bottom, so I'm going to put this on here because if I'm not careful, if I don't have it centered up right, and I push it down where it starts to come out the bottom and it hits this edge, it will cause all kinds of problems. So, let's see. I think I'm gonna go just a little bit further. Then I'll turn it over and press it again. Feels like it needs to be annealed again also. So everything looks good. Let's check the size. Looks like it's starting to get down where I want it to be. So we're about 11 now. When these sides start to even out, then the reduction in size really happens fast. Because before we were just, all the energy was going into reducing this side down to match this side. And now that it's almost straight across there, it's going to reduce the whole thing. But I think it needs to be annealed again. That press felt, I could feel it hardening. So now, if I can get this tape off there, gotta try to find the end. And I can't feel it. There we go. So you can see this is really starting to reduce down now. This wall is almost straight across. This side's still just a little bit bigger. Check again. Got that tape on there. 11 3/4 actually. Okay, so let's come back over here. Anneal it. This should be the last anneal that we need to do. It's actually good to finish it with it being hardened a little bit so that it wears a little better. Because pure silver is pretty soft. So work hardening it towards the end of the process is actually a good thing. Okay. Okay, so we'll wrap it up one more time. Anybody have any questions? Did I miss any questions along the way? No, didn't look like it. Got a lot of follows though. Thanks everybody. I'm going to give it one more small press, and then I'm going to turn it over and press from the other side. And that should even everything up. So I'm going to take it down to about this line right there. And turn it over. Go down to about that line again. And you can see that it looks pretty straight across there now. Let me see if I can check the size without taking off the tape. The tape's still in pretty good shape if I need to press anymore. Okay, it's right at 10. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to mention, actually. I need to go down below 10 because I need to cut this rim out of here. So I'm going to press it just a little bit more, maybe go down to closer to 9. And then when I cut that out of there, it should be pretty close to 10. Feels like it's about to go through the bottom. Yeah. Okay, let's see where we are now. Okay, we're at 9, so that's good. Because I should probably get about a full size when I cut that rim out of there. If not, I'll just stretch it on the stretcher just a little bit. I probably should have cut that out of there earlier in the process, but it's okay. It's kind of easier to get that out of there, and then before you get it down to the final size, we'll just cut it out. Thanks for the follow, Mark. Oops, I better clutch up. Keep my eyes on the work instead of the screen. I cut myself the other day with this thing. I was bleeding like a stuck pig, but I just had to keep working. The show must go on. And we'll check and see where we're at. Oh, we're at 10. Do I have that rim on there? Pretty close. I need just to cut a little bit more though, because the ring won't fit properly if that rim's in there. So, okay, just a little bit more. I might have to, if it goes up above 10, I'll just put it over here in one of these reduction dies and just roll that edge over just a little bit to reduce it down. That feels pretty good. We're about 10 1/4 now. Let's take a good look at this. It looks pretty straight. So let's go ahead and just come over here. See, that's the reason I should have cut that out of there before I got it down close to the final size. I still make mistakes every now and then. All right, so let's just give it a little bit of a press. Doesn't take much. I felt it move, so. All right, there we go. That took it down just a hair below 10, but that's good. That's okay because I'll clean this up with some, I'll take a diamond burr and grind away all those stutter marks that the deburring tool makes. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, you see it right here. It's not smooth looking. So I'll take my burr and smooth all that out and sand it, and that should bring it back down to 10 where we want it to be. All right, so the next step is to put a patina finish on it. So, first thing I'll do is take this steel wool, just kind of rough up that surface a little bit. This is actually the preliminary step in the sanding or the polishing process. But since this is going to be patina, it's not going to be a high polish surface. All right, I've got my liver sulfur, should be ready. This is a very stinky concoction. But it works better when the ring is warm. So I'm gonna steam clean it real quick, and that will clean it up a little bit more and warm it up too. So be right back. Okay, it'll take a minute or so. So, anyone have any questions? Just give it a little bit here. Wish you guys were able to share this smell with me. Now you can see there that it wasn't completely dark. It's probably about time to throw this out and make some fresh. I did add some liver sulfur to it. Liver sulfur comes in these little rocks. It smells like rotten eggs. Okay, let's check it. It's getting close. Give it just a little bit more. Good time for questions if anybody has any. Thanks for the follow, Hippie. And Jump Master Jim. Seems like I've seen you before. That name sounds familiar. Get ready, get ready. Thank you. Well, I don't want you guys to get bored, so let's go with it. Should be okay. Rinse it off. Okay, so now I'm going to take some Renaissance wax. And just spread it over the surface. And that will, I want the patina to come off on the highlights and kind of stay in the background areas. So this polish will kind of help to protect that background. All right, so now I'll take some steel wool and just kind of lightly go over it. You can see it's starting to come off the detail. At the inside. Okay, now I'll take this fingernail file. Have I tried Brasso? No, never have actually. I do also use, when I'm just going for a polished surface without the patina, I use this Mother's mag and aluminum polish. It works real well. That's what most coin ring makers use. It's starting to look pretty good. I like that patina finish. The last one I did was powder coated. That's pretty cool too. I also got a US Navy on the ring too. And then, let's see, where is it? Somewhere here I've got the keyring that goes along with that. I don't know where it got to. It's around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. It's the powder coated keyring. This one will look more like this. espresso improves the tarnish without scratches. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll have to give it a shot one of these days. I like this patina finish on this one. I think I might like that better than the powder coat, to be honest. Okay, then I take one of these guys. This is a disposable. I've got some here, a couple used ones that still have some life in them. These really work nice to make the shine come alive. I don't know what they put on these. Oh, thanks, David. I've got a navy one here too, with powder coat. I've got the keyring for this one also. And that powder coat's really tough stuff. Once you bake that on there, it's not going anywhere. So that's pretty much it. Other than the finishing work I'm going to do. I don't do that during the live though. So there's what we got. United States Army. One of these days I might do one of these with the inside out, which says land of the free because of the brave. That'd make kind of a cool ring too. Yeah, you can really see those lines across there, all the way across there. I'll grind all that away and it'll be nice and smooth. Also need to do some work on this side too. Oh, anybody have any questions? Maybe my